And now to Capitol Hill, and a high-profile member of the Trump administration and the Trump family who gave testimony before the committee investigating the January 6th insurrection. Former President Trump's daughter and senior advisor Ivanka Trump answered questions for 8 hours yesterday. NBC News Capitol Hill correspondent Leigh Caldwell has been following that, and she joins us now. Hey, Leigh, good to see you. So this is the second time the House Select Committee has heard from a family member of President Trump. That first one, Ivanka's husband, Jared Kushner's 6-hour testimony last week. What do we know at this point about Ivanka's appearance?
Good morning, Savannah. Yesterday's appearance was 8 hours long, so she was before the committee for a very long time. She appeared virtually. She was not in person. But what we were told, our colleague Garrett Haake was told by the chair of that committee, Benny Thompson, that she did not invoke privilege as far as he knows. But she was also not particularly talkative either. So we know that she was in the Oval Office on January 6th. She was asked to ask her father to stop the violence on January 6th. We'll see what she gave to the committee, but it is pretty remarkable just the fact that she showed up voluntarily and that she spent 8 hours before the committee.
Yeah, wow. 8 hours and 6 again for her husband. Quite a bit of time there combined between the two of them. Now, Leigh, I want to ask you about something else. Yesterday, the committee got this trove of documents from John Eastman. That's President Trump's attorney. There are papers that Eastman unsuccessfully sued to keep secret. Do we have a sense of what's in there now that they do have them, and how and if this changes the investigation or gets it any closer to a finish line?
Yeah, this was about an additional 100 emails that Eastman did not want to turn over, but like you said, went to court to prevent from having to turn them over. He lost that case. And in that case, this judge outlined what was in these emails. And I'm going to read a quote. It says, "This may have been the first time members of President Trump's team transformed a legal interpretation of the Electoral Count Act into a day-by-day plan of action." Now, remember that Electoral Count Act was what was used, or what the Trump administration officials wanted Vice President Mike Pence to use on January 6th to say that the election was invalid or give the electorals back to the state. So this is going to be very good information for the committee, and the committee has won court case after court case from people who are trying to prevent them from getting information. Savannah.
And Leigh, I want to ask you one more January 6th related question before I let you go. The former Proud Boys leader, Enrique Tarrio, was in court yesterday facing federal charges related to the insurrection. What's the latest there? What happened with this?
Yeah, he pled not guilty yesterday. He is charged with conspiracy, several counts. This is part of a larger case against conspiracy case against members of the Proud Boys. But of course, he was the leader there. And this is one of the biggest cases the Department of Justice is pursuing. As far as January 6th is concerned, we know there are hundreds of those. And so this case is going to move forward. He, and along with other members of the Proud Boys, Savannah.
All right, Leigh Caldwell, thank you so much.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.